Hi there, welcome to End-to-End Solution Architect session. Today, I'll be talking about HashiCorp Terraform Cloud. So basically how we can use Terraform Cloud to pick the image from the HashiCorp registry and deploy it in Azure Cloud Platform. So if you are watching our HCP Packer series, you know that we have created an image in our Azure Cloud Platform. And now as the image deployment part, we will be using HashiCorp Terraform Cloud to deploy that image and provision one virtual machine. So let's proceed. You must be already familiar with this architecture design because I have already explained in our ongoing HCP Packer series. But still, that we are using HCP Packer to create or build images for AWS, Azure, GCP, vSphere platform, and the image repositories where the actual image will be stored are into the respective environment, and the metadata will be stored in the Packer registry. It is a one place where we will be able to see all the images for all the environments, the versions, iterations, and the release channels. And at the last part, where when we have the image created, we now need to deploy that. There comes Terraform Cloud. Now we will pick up the image from the HCP Packer registry. So I will show you how we can integrate Terraform Cloud with HCP Packer registry and ultimately deploy that image in Azure Cloud Platform. Let's proceed. This is the general process flow of Terraform Cloud, that we have the modules, we have infrastructure as code, we have written in our VCS code editor. Here is the Terraform Cloud, which we connect from our system. It connects to the HCP Packer registry, and then the remote operations, which provision the resources in various cloud environments and create the resources ultimate. So let's go to the demo part. If you are following our HCP Packer series, you must have already completed or already you are aware about how we have built images for various cloud platforms, how we configured and created HCP Packer registry, how we used Ansible with Packer registry. Now in this session, I am talking about Terraform Cloud, how we can set up Terraform Cloud, connect to Terraform Cloud, integrate Terraform Cloud with HCP Packer registry and run pipeline in Terraform Cloud, that how the image can be picked up from HCP Packer registry and will be provisioned in a particular or target cloud platform, which in our case in this session, it will be Azure. So now let's move to the demo part. Now these are few consolidated steps I have mentioned over here. Now you must have your system already configured with the HCP Packer, because in my earlier session on HCP Packer, I have showed that how you can connect your local system to the HCP Packer registry and push your images, and HCP Packer registry, how can it push to Azure shared image gallery. So you can check the past session or can follow the documentation as well. I will show in our GitHub, which is github.com/E2E solution architect. But for the steps, here is that you have to log into your portal.cloud.hashicorp. This is for your HCP Packer. The right side part I'm talking first, which is for Packer registry. HCP Packer registry should contain image iterations. So your Packer registry is the prerequisite thing. The registry should be created and iterations, which are basically called versions of images, should be ready, and a service principal should be available. So if you have completed your image building in HCP Packer, it means that you have already completed these 3 tasks over here. So you are able to log in over there, you have the registry created, it has created the iteration, and you must have that service principal created. That's why you are able to build your image in HCP Packer registry. Now let's go to the left portion where it talks about the steps for Terraform Cloud. Now first thing is you have to log into app.terraform.io. It is the Terraform Cloud platform or the portal. Now create a project and workspace. Second, configure the environment variable in Terraform Cloud workspace. Now I want to emphasize over here that when you are running or when you usually run your Terraform open source tool in your local system, so you set the environment variable, right? So you set your environment variable. If you are using Windows system, you know that how to set the environment variable in your particular system. But when your code is actually supposed to run in Terraform Cloud, then you have to set the same environment variable in Terraform Cloud. So I have seen people forgetting that to set the environment variables same as you have done in your system, you have to do in Terraform Cloud portal. I will show you how you can do it. Now, when you are using Azure, so there are few environment variable, right? ARM client ID, ARM client secret, ARM subscription ID, ARM tenant ID. These are the Azure related environment variable. So it can connect to your Azure platform. Next, there are two environment variables as well, HCP client ID and HCP client secret. These two are from your HCP Packer you will get. So in HCP Packer session, when I showed you that how to create the service principal and how to create the keys, when you create the keys, you will get HCP client ID and HCP client secret from there. So it will help to pull the image iterations or the metadata for the image version or image iteration and give it to Terraform Cloud so that Terraform Cloud can take it and pull the actual image from Azure image repository and then provision it in the virtual machine. So now let me show you every steps one by one. Very quickly, if anyone is interested for bootcamp online or classroom, there are few bootcamps coming in this summer on Microsoft Azure, AWS, data science, or if you are interested on the open house, which is conducted online and classroom as well for cloud architects, which is certification focused training and IT role based training as well. So you can register, you can scan this QR code and you can register accordingly. For any queries, you can write a note to us at contact us at e2esolutionarchitect.com. Now let's move. Well, here is our GitHub repository. So as you see, it is github.com/e2esolutionarchitect.com. In that, you will find a repository called Terraform. And in Terraform repository, you will find a markdown file where I have written down all the steps required for configuring your Terraform project for your Terraform Cloud. So first thing is that when you are using CLI, perform the Terraform login. First thing, it is to connect to your Terraform cloud platform. So let me go to there. This is the project code which I will be sharing in the video description as well. It is stored in the GitHub, the same repository. I will show the I will share the complete link. But before that, let me show you Terraform login. So once you do this Terraform login and click on enter, it will ask you to proceed. Yes, it will open up your Terraform Cloud because I am already logged into my Terraform Cloud. So it didn't ask me for the login and it is taking me for creating a token. Now see, I have the token already created, so I do not need to create the token again. But if it is your first time and you need to create a token, it takes you to the page where you need to create the token. You just put a name over here and set the expiration date or keep it 30 days and click on generate token. It will generate the token and store that token. You don't lose that token because you will need that token just after this screen. Okay, I am closing this screen. Now let's go to the console. You see that it is actually waiting to enter a value. Okay, so here you have to enter the token. So it is a long string you will get. You will just paste it over here and click enter. So I have pasted because I had that token created. Okay, and it shows that it has connected. When it shows like that, it means that welcome to Terraform Cloud. It means that it has connected. Okay, now I have this project which is basically picking up the image from the HCP Packer registry and creating one VM in Azure platform. Now the purpose of this Terraform project is it will pick up the image from HCP Packer registry and provision a virtual machine in Azure. Well, so this is our main file. This is the data file where actually I'm showing that how I'm picking up the image from Packer registry. I am providing the bucket name, image bucket name, which is in HCP Packer, and the channel. In our case, the channel is production. As you see that I am mentioning that it should be production. Now, if you are following our HCP Packer series, you know that what is this release channel called and how is the relation between release channel and image IDs. Okay, so you will get it from here. So data is nothing but it will pick the image reference from the HCP pack. The next part is here where it creates the virtual machine. So here it is creating the virtual machine. Here it is creating the virtual machine, as you see, the Linux virtual machine, and I am providing the source image ID as data.hcp packer, this image reference basically. So this is the image reference which I have got through this data from the HCP Packer registry. I am providing over here that to pass this source image. So if you don't pass the source image ID like this, you have to pass your image details from Azure Marketplace by this publisher, offer, SKU, and the versions. Okay, that's why I have commented this part. Well, now let me take you to the Azure part, or before Azure, let me take you to the HashiCorp HCP Packer registry. So here it is our Packer registry. This is our image bucket. This is our latest iteration. Okay, so if I click on the image bucket, you can create multiple image bucket. That doesn't matter. These are our iterations. So iterations means are the versions of images we have created. As you see, we have till now version 8. Now let's go to our channel. This is our release channel, and release channel is for multiple deployments for multiple environments. Okay, so here we have our base, staging, deployment, latest, and then production. So we are targeting the production. With the production we have v6 iteration tagged with it. So it means that when our Terraform project will run, it will pick up v6. Now, if I want to change the production to upper version or lower version, simply I just go to the production release channel and just do this manage, edit assigned iteration, and select any iteration I want to point with the production. So I do not need to change anything or hard code any image ID in my Terraform project. So it is the essence of using HCP Packer, that you do not need to hard code anything, the image ID in your Terraform project. You just point it to your environment, means particularly the channel, the release channel, and whatever the image ID is mapped with this release channel, the Terraform project will pick up automatically. Well, so now let's go to our Azure platform, and here under image Azure platform we have the images. The actual images are stored over here. So HCP Packer registry keeps the metadata of the images, not the actual images. The actual images are in the cloud native repository. So in Azure class is under the images, and these are our images. There are 4 images over here. Okay, so now let's go back to our virtual machine section. The virtual machine, we currently should not have any virtual machine over here. Good, we do not have any virtual machine over here. So once we run our Terraform project, it should create one virtual machine from the image which is coming from HCP Packer registry. So let's move to our coding part. So once more I am taking you to the Terraform documentation where we started with Terraform login. Now once you did this Terraform login, you created this token, you are logged in. Now if it is your complete new Terraform project, you know that you have to do Terraform init and then Terraform apply. And now before you do apply, we have to set up our project and workspace in our Terraform Cloud platform, right? So I am logged into my Terraform Cloud over here. So let's go to Terraform Cloud. It shows the project and workspaces over here. So you see that project and workspaces, and here is my workspace, that is the workspace ID E2ESA Packer demo. It is the already created. Now if you see that the right hand top side, it says that create new. So simply you can just click over this project and give a name. It will create a project. I'm not creating at this time because the same thing has been already created. It is very simple. And once you create on this workspace, it will ask you few things. Now let me explain for the workspace. So it asks you to choose your workflow. There are different workflow, three basically. One is with the version control workflow. Second one is CLI driven workflow. And third is API driven work. Now in this session, I will show you CLI driven workflow, but the version controlled workflow, which you may be using for your actual commercial project for your organization, it is nothing but you point to your GitHub repository or any source control, source code management tool like GitHub, GitLab, or Bitbucket, so that Terraform Cloud can pick up the Terraform project from there, nothing else. So CLI driven means trigger remote Terraform runs from your local command line. Since I have my code set up in my local system, so I'll be triggering from here from the CLI. Okay, so that's why. Now once you select this CLI driven workflow, secondly is asked to select the project. So the project name you just created, you will select that project name and you will add a workspace name over here. So there can be multiple workspaces under a single project. So here you are actually creating the workspace and mapping it to a existing project. Okay, suppose let me select this Packer demo and just demo workshop or demo. Okay, and once you click on create workspace, it will create the workspace. I am not creating it at this moment because I have this one created already, so I will be using this same. Okay, because I want to show you few more things once you create the workspace. Now once the workspace is created, you will find the project and the workspace like this. Okay, so this is my workspace, which is E2ESA WAS workspace Packer CLI. Let's click over there and go to see that what are the things over here. It will show you all the resources created, the current status, that the estimated cost which it will take to run, it may incur, means it is not the Terraform billing, but it will show that the resources you are created, suppose you are creating one virtual machine, how much it can cost you over a period of time. This much it will show you. Okay, so on the left hand side you see that there is a menu called variable. So let's go to the variable. Sometime back, I was emphasizing on setting up the environment variable. These are the environment variable and all are sensitive. Okay, because all those are IDs and secrets. So you should mark them as sensitive and make it the environment variable. So let me show you that once you click on add a variable, it gives you two options. By default, the Terraform variable is selected, but you have to click on environment variable, add your key and the value and select the sensitive, this one, and then add variable. In my case, I have those variables already listed. Okay, and since it is sensitive, it will not show the value and you cannot edit the value after you created it. Okay, so if you want to edit the value, you have to delete this and recreate this key. So it is good for this. So all these ARM are because you are connecting to your Azure cloud. If it is AWS, you know the secrets ID, connection ID and the secret starting with AWS underscore. And we will be also connecting HCP Packer registry. That's why we have provided the HCP client ID and HCP clients. Now let's move back to our workspace. And we do not need to do anything over here after this configuration. Okay, so what we have to do now, we just simply run Terraform apply over here. So I'm just running Terraform apply over here. I'm passing the variable file app.tfvar and created by an environment dev. These are as per the best practice and how the project is structured. Okay, so now clicking on enter. Okay, it's saying that please run Terraform init. So my project repository doesn't have the Terraform initialized. That's fine. Terraform. Meanwhile, let me show you one more thing of this Terraform project. Since we are using HCP Packer, let me take you to the version file over here. and you see that when you are using Terraform Cloud, so in your code, you have to point it to your Terraform Cloud organization. And here I am pointing my project to the Terraform Cloud organization. So it will execute in Terraform Cloud, not in my local. Okay. The next thing is required providers. So in my case, I am using HCP Packer registry. So I have added the plugins for HCP using Azure, added the plugin for Azure. And also this random and TLS, these two are the things I have used for the VM creation. And that's why I have added. But these two are the plugins majorly used for HCP Packer registry and Azure cloud. Okay. Now I see that the Terraform Cloud has been successfully initialized. Now let's run the apply. Let me increase the console. It has started executing, starting the plan first. So after plan, it is showing that it is going to create 12 resources. So I'm good with that. Just enter yes. It will start creating the resources now. And it is also showing that the cost estimation in portal, $52 per month. It is about to cost. Now it has started from here. I see this console. Now let's go to our this Terraform Cloud, you see, and it started showing that apply. So your local project execution is actually connected with your Terraform Cloud, and you see that how the local CLI has triggered the project execution, Terraform project execution in Terraform Cloud. And meanwhile, if I take you to our Azure virtual machine, let me do a refresh. It will take few minutes because there are other components also to create in our Terraform code. Minimize this console a little bit. You will see that there are a lot of components are being created. As it says that 12 components will be resources will be created. So it is creating the virtual network, the resource group, the subnet, public IP, security groups, everything. Okay, it was fast enough. So it's showing that the 12 added resources completed. So it means that if we just refresh it over here and we see that our VM is running. Okay, so far we have seen that how we can use Terraform Cloud. We can connect to Terraform Cloud and execute our project from our local system to Terraform Cloud, how we can configure Terraform Cloud, what are the steps, how we can create the token, and how we can integrate Terraform Cloud with HCP Packer by providing the HCP Packer ID and the secrets. So if you have any query on this, please feel free to comment on this session and drop us a note at contact us at E2E Solution Architect. Now let's go to this virtual machine and check the details. Particularly in the project, I mentioned the security rules in Terraform project. As you see that there are 3 security rules, means the network rules, where it will allow the HTTP, HTTPS and SSH. Okay, so I just want to see that how these rules are created and whether the a tool which is Nginx we installed in our image. So if you are following our HCP Packer series, you must be knowing that during our image building we installed Nginx. So at this time when we have created this virtual machine from that image, so we must have the Nginx installed in it. So to check that Nginx, let's copy our public IP address and open a browser, and you see that it's showing welcome to Nginx. So just after creating this VM, we are able to get this Nginx running. So it means that when we did the build of the image using HCP Packer, it was successful and we just provisioned one virtual machine and we are able to access Nginx now. So the same way, you can install multiple tools you need and build the image using HCP Packer, and after that you can deploy that image to create the virtual machines by Terraform. So now before I end this session, let me iterate once more that if you are interested in any one of these boot camps which are coming in next few days in this summer, 5 days and the 7 days classroom and the online hybrid mode summer boot camps on Microsoft Azure, AWS and data science, or you are interested for the open house on cloud architects, cloud certification, focused training, IT role based training. You can scan this QR code. You will get all the details for the registration. And for any further queries, please feel free to drop a note at contact us at E2E Solution Architect. Thank you for your time. See you in our next session.